So up until now in this week 2, you now know how to have different separate pages in our Flutter application, and you also know how to show toast or snack bar on user gestures in application. Now we are going to learn how to create the bottom navigation bar in our Flutter application. First we will build the bottom navigation bar provided by the Flutter material design, and then we will add a package in our pubspec.yaml file for having some fancy bottom navigation bar. So let's go for it. To create the bottom navigation bar, we have the direct property in our scaffold, that is the bottom navigation bar, which accepts a widget. If we pass the widget in here, that widget will be displayed at the bottom of the scaffold, like it will be displayed right in here. You can also create your custom bottom navigation bar by simply passing the row widget in here and to have some items aligned horizontally in the row. But this is not going to be a good approach to do it. To create the bottom navigation bar, the Flutter material design give us the widget of bottom navigation bar, and it has one compulsory property, that is the property of items, and these items will be the icons with some labels aligned at the bottom of the scaffold in here. And these items accept the list of bottom navigation bar item. So here inside the list, we are going to have the bottom navigation bar items in here. To create the bottom navigation bar item, we have the widget of bottom navigation bar item, which has two properties required, that is icon and the label. So let's pass the icon and the label to this bottom navigation bar item. So we got our icon of home and also the label of home. So that's how we can create the bottom navigation bar item inside the items of this bottom navigation bar widget. And here in the items, there must be two or more than two bottom navigation bar items. According to the documentation of bottom navigation bar, here if you hover this pop-up will appears, and here it is saying the length of items must be at least 2 or greater than 2, and each item's icon and label must not be null. So that's what it is said in the documentation. So now let's duplicate this 3 times, and here let's change the icons and their labels. So we change the icons and the label of each bottom navigation bar item. The first item is going to be our home, and the second will be the home repair service icon, and its label is service, and the third one has the location on, means the location icon, and the location label, the account circle around it, and the profile. So that will be our bottom navigation bar items will be show up at the bottom of the scaffold in here. And also to give fixed width to the bottom navigation bar items, we have the property of type. It accepts the bottom navigation bar type, and from this type we will pass the fix. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and we got the home, service, location, and the profile, but for now it is not working. And by default in here, our selected item color is blue and the unselected item color is gray. So you can also change them by the properties inside the bottom navigation bar. That is the properties of, let's say you want to increase the font size of that item that is selected. So we pass the selected item font size 16, meaning that the label size will be increased to 16. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, you can see we got the home font size 16 as this is our selected item by default. But for now we cannot select the other items, and we are going to do it in a while. And next you can also change the unselected icon theme and simply pass the icon theme data, which has the colors black. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and we got the icon colors black just because of the property unselected icon theme, and which accepts the icon theme data, and simply you pass the color black. And you can also change it to other also. And with this we have one more property, that is selected icon theme, and here we also pass the icon theme data widget, which has again the property of color, and we set the color to red. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and our selected item color becomes red. And we can also change the color of this label by putting the property of the selected item color, and we also set this color to red. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and you can see we got the label of our selected item home. So that's how you can change the colors of selected and unselected items and their labels. Now what if we want to show some different pages when we click each item in the bottom navigation bar? For that we need the index of each item. To get the index of each item, we have the property of onTap in our bottom navigation bar, which return type is void, and in its constructor it accepts the integer, meaning that when each item is clicked, this will return the specific index of that item. To make it clear, here we will print this index, print and index, and also put the semicolon in here. Ctrl S to hot reload, and to show the print statement, let's open up your run console and click this home. you can see we got the 0 index of this first bottom navigation bar item, and when we click this service we got the 1, when we click the location we got the 2 index, and when we click the profile we got the 3 index. So it means we are getting the correct index by this onTap method of bottom navigation bar item property. So now how to have the pages when we switch between the items of bottom navigation bar? For that we have to create a variable in here that will be the variable of current index equal to 0. And down here we will do if this method is tapped, meaning that if each item is tapped, so we will simply do set stat the current index equal to the index of each item that is clicked. So what we are doing in here, when each item is tapped or clicked, so simply what we are doing, we are simply updating this stat variable which index is 0 to that index that is clicked. Like when we click this home, so this current index got the 0 index. If we click this service, this current index got the 1 index. If we click this location, this current index got the index of that item that is now 2. Just like that. So that's how we are getting the current index of each item in this current index variable. So now using this variable, we will show different pages on our UI, on our emulator. So to show the different pages on that variable, here we are going to have a method outside the build method. That method will be switch on index. We have not specified the explicit type to this method, so it means its return type is dynamic, and this is a simple regular method as you have learned in the Dart course. And this private means this will only be used in this main Dart, and this will not be allowed to use outside this library. And inside this, what we will do, we will use the switch statement on the current index, and on each index we will return the different page on our UI. So let's do it. We will switch on the current index, and in the body of the switch, if the case was 0, so what we will do, we will return the center child text, and we will do page 1, or we can also say home page, as this is home, and also put the semicolon here, and we will copy this case and paste it 3 more times as we have the 3 more items in here, and we will do case 1, case 2 and case 3. That are the indexes which are changing in the current index each time when the state variable updates by the set stat. And when the current index was equal to 1, so we will display in the center services, and in here if the current index was equal to 2, so what we will do, location, and if it was 3, simply we will say profile. Now we will copy this dynamic method and simply paste it in the body and put the parenthesis in here, so it means we have called this method in the body. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and you can see we got the home page in here, and we have this selected item, and when we click this you can see the current index change, it becomes 1 on this onTap method, and we got the services in here, and now this case 1 is returned. And when we click this location, you can see we got the location in here. Now the current index is 2, and when we click this profile, we got the profile in here where the current index is 3 now. But you can see there is one problem. We have the current index now 3, but our red color is still the home. So to overcome this, we have again the property of current index in the bottom navigation bar and simply set it to the current index. So each time when this onTap is pressed and this current index variable got the index of each item, so that index will also be changed in the bottom navigation bar item, and according to that we will get our selected item color and the selected item theme. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, you can see now we got directly the red color for our profile as this current index is 3. And when we click this location, you can see this colors becomes red, and we also got the location in here. And when we click the services, home, and just like this, we have created a basic bottom navigation bar provided by our Flutter material design. And you can also change the background color of the bottom navigation bar by the property of background color and simply set it to the color that you want. Let's say we want to set it to colors.blue. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, we got the blue bottom navigation bar in here, just like this. And you can also return your own page's stateless widgets in here, like to create here a simple stateless widget and name it, let's say, home, and simply return here in the center child text and simply say, hello, I am stateless widget home. Now let's copy this home and simply paste it in the center, and also put the parenthesis in here and also put the semicolon in here. Now Ctrl S to hot reload. You can see we can also call our stateless widget directly in here. And we got hello, I am stateless widget home, that is the text of this stateless widget returned by this build method. So that was it for a simple bottom navigation bar provided by the Flutter material design. So now let's go for creating some fancy bottom navigation bar. For that you have to go to your pubspec.yaml file and add one dependency. So you need to add this persistent bottom navigation bar dependency in your dependency of pubspec.yaml file. After this, simply pubget. So after pubget completes, let's close this console from here and let's go to the main.dart and remove this bottom navigation bar from here. And also remove this switch on index from here and put simply a center widget in here. Or you can also remove the body from here. And also close this and remove this switch from here and also delete this home widget from here. Now to use the persistent bottom navigation bar, here we have the widget of persistent tab view, which comes from the package we have just added, persistent bottom navigation bar. So in here it has some compulsory properties that are the context of build, the screens and the items. So first of all, let's create the screens in here. So we got 5 stateless widgets. The first widget is home. In the build method, it is returning a scaffold with the app bar text home. And in here, the second stateless widget is order page, which returns the order page in the app bar. And the third widget is settings, which returns the settings page. And the fourth page is profile page, which returns the profile page. And the fifth widget is services page, which returns again the services page. And this error in the emulator is because we have passed the screens and items empty. Simply it is saying the item's length must be greater than or equal to 2 and must be less than or equal to 6. So that's why there is an error, and it will be fixed in a while when we specify the items of our persistent bottom navigation bar or tab view. So in the items, it accepts the list of persistent bottom navigation bar items. To create the persistent bottom navigation bar item, we have the same widget as specified in here, persistent bottom navigation bar item. Let's create it. So we got our first persistent bottom navigation bar item with the icon of home and the title of home and the active color secondary black, the active primary color that is white, and inactive color primary that is gray with some shade of 400. And just like this, let's create the items for these pages. First we got for the home, create for the orders, the settings, profile and the services also. So here we are going to have the items of, so we got the items for the home, the orders, the settings, profile and also the services. Only the icon and the titles are different of these persistent bottom navigation bar items, and active color secondary and active color primary, inactive color primary are same for all of these items. Now let's go and create the screens according to that. And here the screens list length must be equal to the items length. So we have created 5 items in here as well as 5 stateless widgets in here. So let's pass our screens in here, and the screens accept the list of widgets, and that's good. We have created the stateless widgets for our screens. So first screen is home, and the second is orders, and the third screen is settings page, and the fourth is profile page, and the fifth is services page. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and we got this persistent bottom navigation bar just like this. And when we click this second one, you can see the orders page change just like this. And also there is also some beautiful animation you can see when we switch between the pages just like that. And also to change its bottom navigation bar background color, we have again the property of background color, and simply set this bottom navigation bar color to, let's say we want to set it to blue just like that. and we got our bottom navigation bar just like this. If we want this app bar to be in the safe area, we will simply wrap the scaffold with the widget that is safe area. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and you can see we got this in the safe area. And the safe area is the area of our application, but not that upper area, just like this. Now if you want to style our bottom navigation bar a bit, here it has one more property. Let's put it right after this. That is the property of decoration, and it accepts the navbar decoration as you have seen for the input decoration, and also the box decoration. The input decoration is for the text field, and the box decoration was for the container. And it has the navbar decoration. The border radius is 10 and the color behind navigation bar will be white. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and you can see we got some rounded borders and the behind color is white. And if you want to change the style for this bottom navigation bar, it has the property of navbar style, which accepts the navbar style, and it has lots of styles like the neumorphic, simple, style 1, style 2, style 3. Let's see how the style 1 looks like. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and our style 1 is, I think that is the style 1 that is already selected. And let's see how the style 2 looks like. The style 2 looks something like this. You can see now its behavior is changed. And the style 3, Ctrl S to hot reload, the style 3 looks something like this. You can see one bar on top of this, and you can also modify its color by changing the active, secondary, active primary, and active primary color of these items, and also some other properties it has in the. And let's also check, like let's say 5, and our 5 style looks something like this. You can see one dot at the bottom of this icon. And let's say if you want to have again 7, and our 7 looks something like this. So you can explore more style also of this persistent bottom navigation bar. And also there is one more property of screen transition animation, like when the screen is changed, like when we click the item, so how it will animate and will navigate to the other page. So the screen transition animation accept the screen transition animation widget, and we have set the animate tab transition to true, and the curve is ease. It's the behavior like how it will curve, and the duration is 200 milliseconds. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and when we come to the settings, you can see some transition or animation when we are switching between the pages, just like this. So you can also explore other properties of this persistent bottom navigation bar or persistent tab view. We have got this persistent bottom navigation bar from the pubdev package manager from here, and this persistent bottom navigation bar version is 5.0.2, and it has a lot of styles, all of the styles in here, and some documentation written by the author of this package. So you can also explore this yourself if you want to learn more about this package. So now let's back to the Android Studio, and that was how this persistent tab view or persistent bottom navigation bar works. And you can see also some beautiful animations and the fancy styles of this persistent bottom navigation bar. And again, you can also explore or modify this by yourself if you want to learn more about this. So that was it for a simple bottom navigation bar, and also for the fancy one, that is our persistent bottom navigation bar.